say hello to my mother.
Hi everybody.
She's not shy, okay? Yes, Mario Ramirez from
Box 11.
You are on the Bear Pantry Show in Utah.
Every Sunday, potato salad, stewed chicken, rice and beans, and plantains.
You're watching the Bear Pantry Show.
You're watching the Bear Pantry Show.
Yeah.
Oxtails.
Watching the Bear Pantry Show.
Attack! You're watching the Bear Pantry Show with my sister.
This is what I'm going to be making today. Bolillos. This is pretty much a simple sandwich bread, a Mexican sandwich bread. I went down to the store to buy it because I've been trying to duplicate it at home, and this is like the best I've gotten so far. This is my third try, and I feel brave enough to try it for the fourth time on camera for you guys. So let me tell you why I don't buy these from the store, all right? They keep them in this pantry or cabinet or cage or whatever this thing right here is. I went down to the store early this morning. And they're loose like this, and you have to grab these tongs and then grab them and put them in a bag, and they're 3 for 99 cents. Very, very good price. But I don't like that they're loose like this because my mom put a lot of things in my brain when she was alive, and she would tell me people touch those tongs after they sneeze or cough. I've got Joe stifling a cough over there right now. And also, they grab these with their hands. Joe sees them do it. Joe's like, I see people grab that stuff with their hands. And then sometimes they'll grab a plastic bag and grab it with the bag, but then the bag, they use the outside part of the bag that somebody already touched. Oh my God. It's just really, really awful. I don't want to have to buy these. And they do have them in the bags, you know, they're already pre-packaged. So now and again, we'll buy these ones in the bags. But these loosey-goosey ones, I'm not gonna buy. But I bought these today just to show you how I cherry pick them. Take a look. I go to the top and then the back. And my dad's like, you don't think people have thought about that and touch it and put it back there in the back? So anyways, 3 of them for 99 cents. And these are mine. They're soft and beautiful. But as you can see, they're not quite up to par. These are much longer, and I think they're a little bit flatter. So I'm going to be doing this, and I'm going to try to shoot for this, okay? So we're going to do the best we can. So let's run through the ingredients that we're going to need because it's very few ingredients. You know what I'm going to do too after I do this batch right here? I might try some from my sourdough starter and do like a French influence on it. We'll see. Anyways, let me start off with the flour. We're going to use 5 cups of all-purpose flour, okay? If you have bread flour, you could try it with that. I might try it with bread flour when I do the other one. So let's get started with the rest of the ingredients that we're going to need. Here we have the flour, right? This is 2 tablespoons of active dry yeast. You can use these packets. And if you're going to use these packets, this one packet is just about a tablespoon. So you would need 2. And they have the rapid rise one. This is the active dry. They have the rapid rise. If you use the rapid rise, just dump it in the flour. You don't have to proof it, okay? I'm not using these because yesterday when I was trying my stuff, I used these packets. Let's see how old they are. September 2015. So let's toss that aside. This is 4 tablespoons of butter, and it's softened to room temperature because I'm going to melt it. And I measured out 4 tablespoons for you, and it comes to right at 1/4 cup. So that would be easier for you to measure. This is 2 tablespoons of sugar, and you're supposed to put like a teaspoon to a tablespoon of salt. I'm not going to do that because this butter is salted, and I don't want to have to add extra salt if I don't have to. This is going to be hot water from the sink, and I say hot because our stuff don't get too hot. So I'm going to toss this out and get another cup because this has already sat here and become warm, and I want my yeast to proof. See, this is the stuff that I bought at the store. We're going to try to get it to look like these guys. Let's set these over here, and these are mine. See, I've got a whole bag. So let me go ahead and get some hot water and get this show started. So I'm just going to put the water in this bowl. You can also just add the yeast to the water in this, but I wanted to use this to measure to see how much water we use. Go ahead and toss the yeast in here. Just use a little bit of the sugar to proof the yeast, because if you use the whole 2 tablespoons, the yeast is going to do this all over, make a big mess, all right? Believe you me, I've tried everything for this bread. So I've already worked out the kinks for you guys, all right? Stir it up, let it sit here for about 8 minutes. If it's going longer than 8 minutes, then toss it and start again, because that means your yeast is bad. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm just going to go ahead and throw the rest of the sugar, and I'm going to go ahead and get this melted for like 30 seconds in the microwave. And when I come back, we're going to actually be making the bread. Look at Joe. He's actually going to eat one of these bread.
Not gonna kill me.
What's not killing is fattening, huh?
That's right.
Not me.
Yeah, I have a little bit of nastiness sometimes.
Let's see. One's missing. See how beautiful this is? It's just gonna swirl. Yes. So let's do like a little well. Let's put the butter first. And remember, my butter is salted. That's why I'm not adding like a teaspoon or so of salt. You can even do up to a tablespoon of salt, but it's gonna really make the bread salty. So watch that, okay? Put the yeast mixture, and remember we put this yeast in 1 cup of water, so we're gonna have to watch how much more liquid we add. I saw this recipe, well, not this specific one, but something like it, with 5 cups of flour, and the lady said 1.5 cups of water. I'm like, she lied. I do breads like the baguettes with 5 cups of flour, and I need more than 2 cups of water, so I knew already that was a lie. See, that's 1 cup. We have about 2 cups measured here. And we're just gonna add it slowly until we make a dough. So no, you don't need a stand mixer, KitchenAid, whatever that is, all right? See? Let Joshua come. I switch out my camera guy to Josh. See, Josh, this is still, because you want this dough to be sticky. Add more. And as soon as it gets sticky, I'm gonna tell you guys how much water I used, all right? Before I get to the water, I forgot to tell you guys that I buy my yeast like this by the pound from Costco, and I put it in a glass jar, because if you put it in a plastic container, it'll go bad. It'll start like getting moisture. So this is, I didn't use the whole 2 cups yet. We have about 1/2 cup left. I don't know that I'm gonna need any more. So that's 1 full cup, 2 cups, 2.5 cups, right? Because I had 2 cups there and I already put 1 in there with the yeast. So you guys see how you have to like watch that water? You guys like my bowl? It's a little salad bowl that the kids got for me last year, Mother's Day. Let's see how sticky this is. This is what you want your dough to look like. And then I'm just gonna grab my flour right here. I'm all set today. I took off my ring, because people always cuss me out about that. Why don't you take off your ring before you start? I was like, oh my God. It's not even all that serious. And you guys know what I do. I pull all this off, and my hands were scrubbed clean, okay? I pull all this off, and then I wash my hands just to get this off, dry it, because it'll be easier to handle the dough if you do that, all right? Meanwhile, we sent Joe to the room to eat, because he's like smacking that nasty bread over there, but he's still eating in the living room. Not even with soap, just to get the stuff off. And then drying my hands. A lot of people know I like bread, right? When this is done, I'm gonna run it over to Colin's grandma. I hope she's home by the time I'm done with this, because I want her to get it hot. See right here? See how much easier it is to handle? And people will tell you all types of things about you press and you pull and you look, just have fun with the thing, all right? It's the best part of cooking. You know, I don't even like cooking to cater, because catering is hard work. You're married to it, you have to cook, you have to have so many heads covered, you know, like not meaning like cover your head with a bag or whatever, but like to count for how many people you're catering to. And then when it's all said and done, you have to make sure that the food doesn't go bad, you know, in hot weather and cold weather, stuff like that. No, I don't want to cater. I'm only going to get a dozen rolls out of this that I'm doing right here. So that means at 3 for 99 cents, right? That's 3 into 12 is $4 I would make to do all this work. I'd rather teach you guys how to make bread. So look, I've been having fun with it. So this is done for right now. People will tell you to grease this, butter it, flip it. No, just throw it in there. Don't let people scare you with bread, okay? Get a pretty cloth. Let's see if this one's pretty enough. And then spread it. The best place to put this is in the oven, if the oven's not turned on, of course. this is me just preparing my sourdough starter to put a little bit in the next batch of bolillos that I'm gonna make. So to feed the starter, you gotta mix it up really well. Pour out some, about half. You guys see those bubbles? And then I put half a cup of flour and half a cup of water in this, mix it up and put it back on the fridge. And that's the mother that we've recreated. So I'm gonna set that out there to proof, and we're gonna add that in the next batch that we make just to give it a little bit of a sourdough type influence, but not really sourdough, because we're gonna make it with some yeast. So this doesn't have to proof for too long. Where's Joe? All right, so we're gonna set this to proof. Show it, Josh. See the bubbles? That's the yeast that's in there, the natural yeast. But we're gonna make the bolillos with some of this yeast. But I just want to add this in here, like to replace some of the water with this, just to give it that little bit of an influence. So let me go ahead and create my mother. I'll be back when that first batch rises. I thought that I was gonna have time to eat lunch, but I checked on it just now, and it is swelling. Look, you don't want it to go to where it deflates on its own. And this is the best part of kneading, guys, and you don't have to do this, but I do. Punch it down. Punch it like it owes you money. See how it's still sticky? Some flour to get it out of here. This is why people tell you to grease it. No more, you can still get it out. So what I'm gonna do is re-knead this. Now I did this the first time I got 5, and that was too big. Second time I got 12. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get 12 because they have to be this size. This is the closest I have of mine that matches that size. So let's make the first one first, measure it out, and then we'll see how many we're gonna get, okay? So kind of make it long, just because it's easier for you to measure when you're trying to cut the pieces off, right? So I'm just gonna pinch a piece off. This is too small, huh, Joe?
Oh.
Let's pinch a bigger piece. He has no help today. He walks in the scene. You know, I'm doing a scene earlier, and he just walks in there all willy-nilly, trying to get a glass to get some water to drink. I'm like, what? Get out! Either you're on the show or you're not. You just can't walk on set all willy-nilly. Is that a word, willy-nilly? But all that kind of stuff stresses me out when I'm doing a show. So I'm not going to let that bother me anymore. I'm just going to show it. What do you think, Joe? Mm-hmm. So it's going to expand. Mm-hmm. You know, guys, take a look. See? It's going to expand. And then this is all air up here. I think that's a good length. And then what they do, I'm going to have to flatten it because I don't want it to come as thick as... Oh, well, that's a good thickness right there. So what were you going to do, Joe? You're going to shape it? Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to go on ahead and shape it like the way this thing here looks. What do you guys think? This is like the hardest part, trying to shape this baby to make it not ugly. Let me get a baking sheet or a cookie sheet. I'm going to grease it and start laying these on top. Oh, let me show you something. They always tell you to slice it after it's already risen. Don't do that. You're not going to be able to slice it too deep because you're going to deflate it. And then whatever you slice is not going to look good. Slice it now.
What's on the top?
I'm just going to do one on the top for this one. Okay? We're going to do different designs for each of them. So let me get my pan, and then we're going to, and you know what? Start the oven. Preheat the oven to 375 right now, because this stuff is going to rise pretty quickly, and you don't want it to have to deflate before you bake it. And that's Cora and Wednesday. In some other videos that I saw, they said to cook a little bit of cornstarch with water and glaze it on the top before it bakes. I tried that and it didn't really make a big difference for me, so I'm not going to do that today. When it's done, what I'll do is brush on some butter. You see why I told you guys to go ahead and preheat the oven right away? Because see, these ones are swelling already. They go pretty fast, and it's barely at 195. It needs to get to 375. We're going to stick them in there. Get a pan like that, or even another baking sheet, but keep in mind when you put water in your pans to make the steam, my stove has a short, I think, your pans will start looking bad. So make sure you use that one for water all the time. So I'm just going to go ahead and cover them up. I've set them on the top of the stove because while the stove is heating up, it's giving the heat so they can rise. I guess somebody came because Wednesday's banging the door. Cover it up. And then clean up the mess. I'm going to eat some lunch. And when I come back, I'll be putting these to bake. And then also, I'll be doing the one with the sourdough starter. So let's see who came. I'm leaving all this stuff in because this is stuff that frustrates me when I do the show.
Hi!
Jayla told me just leave it in because it's gonna send you crazy.
It will.
See?
It's like that episode of Life in Pieces. You try to be the perfect parent, Mom, and you just gotta let go and feed us your food.
It's at 375, guys. So I'm gonna add some water. That will make that steam that we need. Take a look. Oh Lord. I think these ones are too big.
Yeah, smell it. That's it.
Okay, let's put them in. These ones are better, and I flattened these ones with a rolling pin, okay?
Those gonna smell too.
Yeah, they're not gonna touch the shelf though. I think we'll be okay. Let's time it for about 30 minutes. We'll come back and check on it. They're ready, guys. They're ready. Yes. Yes. Look.
Right there. Still big, huh?
These are the ones that were on the bottom shelf, and they're still big. Let's see this one. A little bit bigger than our guide here. So we got 8, so I think we could have probably pushed for 10 or 11, right? This one's nice, right, Joe? Yeah, I think this is like the perfect size right here. I mean, with thickness and everything else, because when you cut it open, you don't want to have too much bread. These ones are sort of big. So in a few minutes, I'm going to put them on a real wire rack. All right, then we're going to taste. I like how these are flatter. Take a look at this one. It's flatter, see? Come closer, Joe. I like this. I can make a good sandwich out of this, cut half, eat half for lunch, eat half for dinner. You see our little thing that we were trying to do? It's not bad. I mean, this is my 4th try. Can you imagine if I do this over and over again? And these are probably made in a machine, huh, Joe? Yeah, these are probably made by a mold or something in a machine. So, but I think these are gorgeous. These are lighter because they were on the bottom, but I don't feel the need to put them on the top to glaze them over or anything. These are fine. So we're going to have to run this over to Grandma. Colin, is Grandma home? Can you check to see if Grandma's home so we could run them over there while they're hot? It's still hot, guys, but I want to cut while it's hot. Ooh la la, listen to that. Soft on the inside, kind of a little bit crunchy on the outside, but as it sits there overnight, it'll get soft on the outside too, okay? Hot, hot. What do you guys think? Let's cut one of these store-bought ones. I don't like how it's hard on the outside though. I'm not cutting so well. Pretty good. I cut that one bad.
That cold already. So.
Yeah, I cut this one bad, but it's all right.
Hi, Grandma.
I gave her the cake pass. Bread. Where does the cake pass? The rest can leave. Maybe did you get my Instagram?
Oh, I saw it. I didn't check yet.
Okay, Colin, come show Grandma.
What is that?
Bread.
Oh Good to see you.
Don't get my hair.
Okay.
Don't get my.
I can't.
Don't get
It's
her
kind of
hair.
hard not to.
Grandma used to
What's on your way?
butter.
What is that?
Grandma, did you taste on camera for me? Did you like it?
I want to taste.
Please don't put me on TV.
Grandma looks beautiful.
Delicious.
Let's see, Grandma.
And this Megan, promote your YouTube channel.
Yeah, check out my YouTube channel, Naked Mermaid, and watch me eat bread.
The Instagram that I sent you was a baby.
Mermaid off duty. Wow.
Off duty. I feel like we're stealing.
You see me?
All these people over here stealing my stuff. So what do you think? It's tasty? Jada's the one that likes these bolillos, okay? So I'm like, I'm gonna make my own because I don't like that nasty thing they have it in. I want to say thank you so much to all my sponsors. You guys are amazing. You're like, Oprah, I just said that. You guys are amazing. Because of your donation, I can actually go buy these ingredients to try this thing. This is the 4th time I've made this bread this week. So I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. Thank you so much. If you're in Belize, in the Georgeville area, go on ahead and check out Belacqua Water for all your water needs. And meanwhile, you gonna take this to Disneyland tomorrow?
Yeah.
She's going to Disneyland tomorrow, guys, and she's gonna take my sandwich breads. Bye, y'all. I love you. Right, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, but just to show you, we're gonna do the one with the sourdough stuff. So that's the sugar, the butter, the yeast, and then to mix it, we're gonna put this sourdough. So this haven't had time to proof. This need like 3 hours to proof the sourdough stuff. That's why I use the yeast, okay? So don't come for me. I'm just trying something here. So what I'm gonna do is just work all the rest of this in, use however much water I need to make it sticky, like the other dough that we had. And then I'm gonna cover it and set it aside to rise for like an hour.
Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of my uploads. You can check me out on BBN9 in Belize, find me on social media, and check out my other 2 channels.